Alright, well, hey there YouTube. This is Mr. Lead Farmer here, welcoming you all to my personal little lead farm here in my garage. And thanks to it being about colder than a witch's tit here in the Pacific Northwest, this is the content I'm planning on doing. Well, I did a video a few months back, and it was called the Light Anti-Materiel Rifleman Loadout. That video did pretty well, but I got to thinking, and there were a few corrections, a few things I could have done better, and a few upgrades I've made since then. So I wanted to put out another video. So if you took one look at this and said, holy crap, I'm going to do some Giga Chad stuff like this, or if you want to do some Giga Chad stuff like this. Then here are a few things that I learned that are going to help you out. Alright, well, very first thing I wanted to address, because I know it's going to find its way down there into the comments. Hey, Mr. Lead Farmer, why don't you got a scope on that rifle? Well, I have been weighing my options. I am thinking of either an LPVO or a thermal optic. Now, I know thermals are kind of tough because you got to deal with the battery life and whatnot. So, I'm not sure if I'm going with that. But, the LPVO, I know people are thinking, what are you doing a low power variable optic for? You got a big old 50 caliber rifle that can reach out and touch someone. Well, I personally hate having such a reduced field of view. And I know that the 24 powers can go down to 6 or whatnot, but there is not a whole lot of distance in the area that I live to shoot at anyway. So, I think a 10 power is going to be more than enough. So that should address that one concern most people have, is like, hey, why don't you put that on there? Well, and I had the option. I had the option of either getting a scope, saving up for that, or getting this here ammo. And boy, I thought to myself, they don't call me Mr. Glass Farmer, do they? Nope, they call me Mr. Lead Farmer. So yeah, speaking of that ammo, let's go ahead and go over that, shall we? Alright, so over here we got ourselves a big, beautiful box of these gray tipped little suckers. And those look a little different than the ball ammunition that you normally run with. And that is because these are armor-piercing incendiary rounds. Yes, that's right. They're coming out of that barrel at a screaming 2,900 feet per second and should be able to penetrate 7/8 inch of rolled homogeneous armor at 100 yards. And still have a payload of incendiary back there to catch anything on the other side on fire if it is flammable. So yeah, I ended up dropping a little bit of money on those because I wanted to shoot more than I wanted to see what I was shooting, apparently. That's fun. But yeah, let's do, in case you guys didn't actually watch that first video, I'm going to do a little bit of a gear breakdown and show you exactly what I changed with this gear set. So, as far as the gear breakdown actually goes, if you wanted to set up this rig for yourself and have it exactly the same, most of this stuff is Condor. This is a Condor Ronin chest rig. This is a Condor large utility pouch. And these three pockets that are holding all those 50 cal ammo are Condor shot shell holders. So that's just a little heads up for y'all. And here's a hydration carrier that you can basically just get anywhere. But yeah, the first video that I showed you all of this loadout, I had my rounds all set up like this. All going from base to tip, facing downward. Now, I got to thinking for long enough, and I found out that's actually not the best way of doing it. Now, I'm going to show you what that looks like to reload from this pouch. And that was my first iteration. The one thing that I got to thinking about was, why do I even need to rip this open? I mean, it looks cool and dramatic for the video, but do I even really need to do that? So I thought about it, and if you're going to put shot shells in here, yes, you would have to rip that panel open to get to this level. But since these are big long bullets and I'm only putting one in all these straps, I might as well put it like this. But that had issues too. Let me go ahead and show you what that looked like. And as you see there, the weight being at the top, where there was no Velcro, kind of made this part a little floppy. I really didn't like that. So we went down one strip of spandex to put it in these shot shell pouches, or shot shell elastic bands. And now it seems to work a lot better. So if we close it up, see if I can do that well with one hand. Yeah. So now if we close it up, the only thing we have to take apart is this, because everything else is accessible through the top. Those might be a little hard to get to, but you just reach your hand down there and it'll flip this open. And it actually will Velcro like that as well. So yeah, that was one of the little changes that I made, and I thought it was a pretty important one. So I wanted to share it with you guys. Now for the next part of this little update, I heard a lot of comments about painting this big old bad boy up. But personally, I kind of like it black when it's hanging on my wall. So I decided to do a burlap wrap for it. I wanted to show it when it was still in its bag, because this whole burlap wrap that you're going to see on Gertha here in a second can fit inside of a quart bag and easily fit inside of my large utility pouch. And that's even though there's like a lot of first aid stuff in there and other crap. So yeah, let's see how that looks on old Gertha. Transition whoosh. Well, I sure hope you liked my sound effect there. It was very special. And it's more like special ed. But what do you expect from us darn crayon eaters anyway? And if you made it this far in this video, go ahead and hit like and subscribe, because honestly, that algorithm is rough for us gun tuber type folks. But yeah, this is the camo wrap I decided to put on here instead of painting it. And if you want to see a video on that, I actually did one. And I'll link it in the description box. Well, that is the end of my update video. There's only a couple of things in here that I wanted to show because, well, if things end up getting mostly peaceful again, and you wanted to have this set up for yourself, the way I had it before wasn't too bad, but it also wasn't perfect. So I hope you guys got something out of this, and I'm going to go ahead and end this by reading a little Bible verse from 2 Timothy, the 2nd chapter, and verse 12. If we endure, we shall also reign with him. If we deny him, he shall also deny us. So remember that, folks. And Stay safe out there.